And in charge at Old Trafford today is Rob Harris from Oxford. Manchester United unbeaten in 28 league games, and they have made a spectacular start to this season, really, taking 19 points from a possible 21. They've won every game since being held by Everton on the opening weekend. In sharp contrast, including last season, Wimbledon have managed just 2 wins in their last 29 games in all competition. So, you could say they're up against it just a little bit today, especially with the likes of Jaap Stam to contend with. But they do have a free kick. Ben Thatcher standing over the free kick. Marcus Gale comes to have a look at it as well. I wonder if Carl Court will be a possible target, or whether they plan to go for goal from this. Certainly looks a likely option. It's Ben Thatcher, but it was blocked by Phil Neville. Dwight York. Stam. Berg. Silvestre finding Paul Scholes, who scored his 50th United goal at Coventry recently. He looks for Solskjaer, making his 3rd start of the season, the nippy Norwegian. Egil Olsen, the eccentric Norwegian manager of Wimbledon, has already written his team's chances off of doing anything here. When asked how they would get on, he said he reckoned they would lose. Blackwell, away by Irwin. Jason Newell, who scored Wimbledon's goal here in a 5-1 defeat last season, and also scored against United at Selhurst Park. Oh, and Carl Court has got the better of Jaap Stam here, and Taibbi got his fingertips to it. An early scare for United. So nearly Court out. Mark Bosnich watching Massimo Taibbi do the business for United. Bosnich on the bench today. Marcus Gale's header! It's just wide. And Wimbledon going close twice in the opening few minutes here at Old Trafford. And there'll be a little concern at how Marcus Gale was allowed to rise unchallenged. A close call. Manchester United with 6 Premier League wins on the spin. Silvestre. Cut out by Trond Anderson. Scholes, though, smuggles it through to Ryan Giggs! Oh, he's put it wide. In fact, it's a corner. Sullivan must have got a touch on it. Well, he'd have banked on Ryan Giggs then. Phil Neville's header will bounce over the top and will be collected by Sullivan. Well, what a chance for Ryan Giggs to put Manchester United on their way early on. Hartson's flick on. Carl Court, he's in here, and he pulls it back for Badir, and Wimbledon have the lead, and it's Walid Badir, the Israeli international. Old Trafford is stunned. The champs made to look like chumps by Carl Court. Badir tucked it away in the corner. And incredibly, it's Manchester United 0, Wimbledon 1. Rest assured, the Wimbledon spirit is still there. But they do, of course, have a lot more than just spirit. Badir gets his first goal for Wimbledon. Giggs. Old Trafford really quiet now. Question might be how long Wimbledon can hang on to their lead, because rest assured that would have rankled Manchester United, and when they are rankled, they are dangerous. Solskjaer. And it was a little tricky for Neil Sullivan, but it didn't trouble him too much. Ryan Giggs is struggling at the moment with an injury, and he will need attention. And it really doesn't look good for Giggs, in fact. He won't play any further part in the game. Meantime, here's Sheringham, and it's just wide. Goal kick's been given. Sheringham felt he should have got a corner as Dwight Yorke slipped it through. Sheringham on the end of it. Agonisingly close for United. Nearly, but not quite. Jordi Cruyff has been a bit part player so far in his United career, and he'd become a big part player today. Cruyff is on for the injured Ryan Giggs. Scholes over the top for Jordi Cruyff, and a wonderful save from Neil Sullivan. And what an introduction to the game that could have been for Cruyff, just on for the injured Giggs. Beautiful ball through from Scholes. Great reflexes from Sullivan. Dwight Yorke's corner, Sullivan coming for that. Sir Alex Ferguson with some big name players currently sidelined, and of course he's in the middle of a 3-week Champions League stretch, as well as all the Premiership games, of course. Scholes for Yorke. Mistake by Gale, he gave it straight to Phil Neville, who looks for Jordi Cruyff. No support there really at the moment. Cruyff doesn't need it. Dwight Yorke's header off target, and that really sums up the way the first half has gone for Manchester United so far. Because this was a real invitation for Dwight Yorke, and normally you'd expect him to, at the very least, find the target, especially from that position. Manchester United unbeaten in 17 games here at Old Trafford. Middlesbrough won here last season in December by 3-2, ironically when Sir Alex Ferguson was away. He was not present because of a bereavement. Scholes looking for Phil Neville, who would advance. Dwight Yorke might yet get on the end of it. He does! Oh! They are getting closer, but still not close enough for Sir Alex's liking. The ball seemed to be bouncing up in the air for an age then, but it came down for Dwight Yorke. And it really wasn't far away from an equaliser. Well, you know that United will create plenty of chances here, but they've got to think about taking some of them soon. Silvestre in space. Having little run at Kenny Cunningham. Still Silvestre. Back it goes to Yapstam. Scholes sizing one up! Spectacular save from Neil Sullivan. And when United have got them on target today, Sullivan has been there to foil them. He conceded 5 on this ground last season. He's not in the mood for a repeat. Scholes' corner is a poor one, met by Kenny Cunningham. Neil Sullivan has seen 16 goals go past him in the Premiership so far this season. Only Newcastle have let in more. Berg. Jordi Cruyff. Oh, he's got his cross in, and Sullivan is stretching this time, and somehow Dwight York, falling backwards, saw it go horribly wide. He was never going to get to that Sullivan that time. I'm not sure if York, though, still expected it to come to him. 29 goals last season for Dwight York. Service coming that time from Jordi Cruyff, who is making his first Premiership appearance of the season. Seconds remaining in the first half. Silvestre finds Stam. Phil Neville. Scholes. Caught in possession by Ewell. Wimbledon don't have time to do anything with it, though, because the half-time whistle goes, and Walid Badir has scored his first goal in English football. The Israeli international latching on to a centre from Carl Court. The half-time score in the Premier League at Old Trafford is Manchester United 0, Wimbledon 1. I'm sure he's had plenty of words of wisdom to say at half-time, and I'm sure also that they will have some effect on his team, who find themselves in a rather strange predicament, trailing at home. United certainly had a good few chances in the first half, but they were either saved by Sullivan or dropped agonisingly, frustratingly wide of their intended target. Hartson, Court, Badir. And now Jason Ewell. Badir. Wimbledon making serious headway towards the United goal here. It's cleared away by Henning Berg, but there was more panic for United. Here's the impressive Court. Scholes turning away from Ewell. Dennis Irwin. Scholes. Jordi Cruyff. A replacement for hamstring victim Giggs. Solskjaer rather tried a flick which didn't come off. Sheringham. Berg. Scholes. He's got a glimpse of goal here. He goes down. Nothing doing from the referee. John Hartson trying his best to latch onto this, but Silvestre is always going to win the race, I guess. And Paul Scholes had a penalty claim here as he bundled and barged his way into the box. Certainly some sort of contact by Cunningham, but the decision might have been a little harsh. Yeah, Stam, captain in the absence of Keane. Hartson. And Carl Court is onside here. Carl Court with a wonderful chance for Wimbledon. And Taibbi keeps Manchester United in the hunt for points. What a turning point that could have been. United may well have found themselves 2-0 down at home. Carl Court really could have made a name for himself here, definitely onside. And that first touch just took it away a little bit further than he would have wanted to. And Taibbi to the rescue for United. I can tell you that Andy Cole's going to be on in a moment for Manchester United. Here's Cunningham though for Wimbledon. Cut out by Cruyff. Sheringham. Phil Neville. It's time for a United surge towards goal now. Sheringham to Dwight York. York having a run at Cunningham. Still Dwight York. And the shutters went up. Sean Anderson was the first body in the way. Scholes. Cruyff. Henningberg. Flicked on. And now Dwight York! And Sullivan is there. And still it won't happen for the treble winners. And it really looked like it might here. The touch from Sheringham, what a turn from Dwight York, but Sullivan stretched and got there. Andy Cole is going to come on for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Can he rescue United? It won't happen just yet, I don't think, because the goal kick's about to be taken. And the referee hasn't noticed his linesman's flag. Hartson flicked it on to Court. Hartson now looking for Badia. And Badia has got the better of Stab! Oh, just wide! Well, Badia came so close to scoring a second. And that really would have been something to write home to Israel about. Stam barged into him, but he survived that. Substitution made by Manchester United then. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is replaced by Andy Cole. 87 goals in 193 games for United. How they could do with number 88. Hartson mugged Scholes. Thatcher. United really have been strangely lethargic at times, as has often happened to them post-European matches. Dwight York. Jordi Cruyff. Paul Scholes. Is this the moment for United? Oh yes it is! And it's Jordi Cruyff, the man who missed out on treble glory last season when he was on loan to Celta Vigo. He makes his mark this season on as a first half sub for Giggs. United needed a wake-up call, and the call comes from Jordi Cruyff. It's 1-1. Sighs of relief all around Old Trafford. York. Cruyff. And Cruyff trying to feed Scholes, and he in turn feeds Irwin. Oh, it's going to just go away from Andy Cole, who did very well to keep it in, and he might be in here anyway. Blocked by Sullivan. Well, it looked like it was going to go across the line as Scholes put Irwin in, who might have gone for goal himself. Cole did very well to keep that in, and then ghosted away from Cunningham. Phil Neville's corner is cleared. It comes back to Neville. Scholes and Dwight York. When it comes to Cole, Stam, Cruyff. York spinning away from Roberts. Away by Marcus Gale. Wimbledon are on the rack a little bit now. They're going to bring on Duncan Jupp to try and shore things up a bit, former Fulham defender, and they're taking off Carl Court. Court created Wimbledon's goal for Badia and might have scored a second when he sprung the offside trap, only to be denied by Massimo Taibi. Court is off and Jupp is on. Kenny Cunningham finding Hartson, who helped it on to Duncan Jupp. Only Ewell is in the middle at the moment, although Gale's arriving. Not the best of crosses. And certainly Marcus Gale didn't know where it was going. Here's Scholes. Scholes has dillied and dallied a few times today. Cruyff to Stam, who seems to have become a right winger. Irwin is with him. Up to Sheringham. Now Jaap Stam. His cross is in towards Cole. Side netting. Andy Cole. So close to snatching the lead for United. And the unlikely provider of the cross was Jaap Stam. No David Beckham today, of course. Stam's at swirling centre. Left Cole with too much to do. Phil Neville. And it's Paul Scholes! Ooh! Old Trafford was on its feet then in expectation of a possible winning goal. And it so nearly came from the boot of Paul Scholes. Jordi Cruyff with a nod down. Rattled over by Scholes. No goal for Scholes. Irwin. Manchester United 5 times champions in the last 7 years, and starting this season in the mood for another. Phil Neville helped on by Scholes. Now there's no flag here as Jupp put Jason Ewell in, and Taibi has saved the day for Manchester United. But what a close call. It'd be just like them to go and snatch one at the other end now. Sheringham to Stam. Cruyff to Irwin. United teasing and toying with Wimbledon. It's Cruyff. Now it's Irwin. York. Over the top. Over and out from York. But at the other end, Massimo Taibi, just as he did when Carl Court got clean through, foil Wimbledon again. This time it was Jason Ewell. Taibi's big hand got to it. Otherwise, Wimbledon could have been ready to celebrate one of the scorelines of the season. Sam Haman, the owner of Wimbledon, will be delighted to get a draw here, but I'm sure he'll be the first to tell us that his team could have won it. It's all over at Old Trafford, and Manchester United's winning streak comes to an end. Walid Badia fired Wimbledon into a shock first half lead. It didn't appear it would be United's day, but Jordi Cruyff decided it was after all. He came to the rescue after coming on as a first half sub for the injured Ryan Giggs. Manchester United suffering a little bit of a European hangover here, perhaps. They weren't at their best. Massimo Taibi, though, had to launch a major salvage operation right at the end when Jason Newell threatened to win it for Wimbledon. He sees the funny side. Both goalkeepers in sparkling form today. It really was an intriguing contest. The full-time score in the Theatre of Dreams, it's Manchester United 1, Wimbledon 1. So Alex, rather frustrating afternoon for you.
It was frustrating, it was disappointing. I didn't think we played well. So apart from the frustrations, disappointing the performance.
Was that one of these European hangovers you were writing about in your programme?
I thought we started casual. I thought we were very slack to begin with, and I think that gave them something to hold on to. Been saying that with incredible chances in the match. We could have maybe scored 6, 7 or 8 goals. But at the end of the day, the frustration got to us and it became a really nothing match.
Egil, not many teams come here and go away with a point. An excellent result for you.
Yeah, I think quite a good performance too. Of course, United had the best team and most of the chances, but we had, in fact, the biggest ones.
In fact, you had 3, didn't you, breakaways where you could have clinched it.
Yeah, that's right. But so it is. We didn't deserve more than 1 point, but I think we performed quite well.
And Jordi Cruyff, quick word on him, because he was away in Spain, obviously, towards the end of last season.
I thought he did really well for us. His goal was a marvellous goal to take, and he opened up the game a lot for us. I think he'd be well pleased with his performance.
I would just love to play more, that's it. And that's what we all work for, and I think it demonstrates a little bit the good squad there is around, and it's not just difficult to stay in, but it's also difficult to just get in. And I think when you get in, you just have to try to be determined and get any chance you've got.